Hello, and welcome to another Elevated Marketing Chat, where we discuss data-driven digital marketing strategies that help your business grow. My name is Jennifer Denny. I am the owner of Elevated Marketing Solutions. We are a digital marketing agency based here in Indianapolis, but we do handle clients all over. And just like that, we do say we're Elevated Marketing Solutions. So you can find us at elevatedmarketing.solutions. All right, we are talking about a topic that has been discussed in digital marketing for a long time. I want to say it's one of the oldest, email. Just about everybody has an email, or they have 5 to 7 different emails if you're like me, a little bit crazy and a lot to manage. But before we get started with today's topic, if you're here, please say hello, share, like, comment. It's all appreciated. It's how you can help any small business out or large business. It doesn't matter. That just makes sure that they get in front of more people. And if you appreciate the content, then you want to make sure that it gets in front of more people. So let's get our quote of the day up on the screen. And our quote today is, "Don't wait. The time will never be just right." And even if it's a email marketing that we're talking about right now, or just anything in life, waiting until it's perfect means that you're procrastinating and you want it to be perfect before you put it out and put your name on it. I think about when we started this Elevated Marketing Chat, and if you go back to 2019 when we first started, I have all that still up on YouTube. You can see it. Like it's laughable for me now. But I think it's part of the journey. Like, it's not being afraid to go out there and get something started and see where it takes you from there, because we're not all perfect. And don't wait. The time will never be right. Just get started. So let's get started with email marketing and why it is a vital strategy to your success. So, you know me, I got to start with some stats, but I'll start a little bit more philosophical. Email allows you to build a relationship with either your existing clients or future potential clients, or services, or whatever you want to call them per se. But email is very intimate. The number of email users worldwide in 2020 is 4.03 billion. That's our friends over at Statista, which I love to use their stats. There are 319 billion emails per day that are sent out. That's a lot. Email usage penetration in the United States, how many people actually use email, is 90.3%. So everybody has it. So that means that it's a great wide area for you to use. Now, here's some more stats. The organic reach is 4 times higher on email than on your social media. What does that mean? Well, if people are following you on your social media, we had a blog post before where we talked about how often your message is going to actually get in front of the people who are following or liking your page. And it can be as low as 3%, so it's pretty small. Or your email could be up to 4 times higher. We just talked about penetration and 90% of people having, email. That's compared to 69% of people having Facebook. So it's still a large percentage of people having Facebook, being one of the largest networks, but a lot more people have email. So, and that's with our friends over at Statista as well. So another great resource, and I really like using them because this is what they do. They're all about stats. So percentage of internet users who use it by age. Well, I mean, the lowest we get is down to 84% with their 65 and older. So again, it's still just a high percentage of people who use it. So let's talk about, as business owners, the money that can be generated off of email. Typically, it's a $42 return for every dollar that you spend, and that's for our friends over at HubSpot, the inventor of inbound marketing. So that's a pretty astounding return that you can get on your email marketing. So I think that really nails why you should be doing it. So let's talk about how this plays into your funnel. And if you're not sure what a funnel is, we have done a blog post on that before and why you should have a funnel. But, you know, speaking in small terms, there's top of funnel, people who don't know who you are, and bottom of the funnel, people who do know who you are. Top of the funnel are going to be people who just signed up for your email but are not quite clients, and we'll talk about how you can get those. And then bottom of the funnel is going to be people who, I just skipped over an important topic. You know, when we talk about top of the funnel, the subject always gets brought up about buying an email list. That can be a subject that can be very dangerous because there are laws out there that prevent you from just spamming people and sending out emails to people who didn't sign up. And these email platforms like HubSpot, MailChimp, whatever platform that you have, Constant Contact, keep track of how often people mark your email as spam. And so if you have a high percentage of that because you bought an email list and they were not bought into that, your domain, so your website address, gets blocked, and then you're going to have trouble sending email altogether. So it can be a problem, and you need to think twice about whether or not you want to take that risk of being able to send emails at all. So let's talk about different types of emails. And I'm going to go into, different parts of this, and I'm going to stay a little bit higher level, but we've got newsletters, which typically get sent out once a month, maybe even once a quarter. We've got promotional emails, so you have this on sale or that on sale. We have milestone emails, so, this is our 5 years coming up for Elevated Marketing Solutions. We might send out an email, just celebrating that and everything and where we've come. Heck, we might even put in, I could say here coming up is our 3rd year of doing the Elevated Marketing Chat. And maybe we'll go through some of the archives of what we looked like before and where we've come to today. Survey emails, automated emails, which is definitely, rising. There's all these types of emails, but I think you need to really think about what are your resources that you have available. Let's think about quality over quantity. Lots of type of emails that you can get out, but all of these emails require thinking, content, planning. You don't want to just spam people with a bunch of content and emails because you're going to quickly get an unsubscribe, and then it's going to be hard to get somebody to buy back into your email. Remember, it's about a personal relationship with either people who don't know you or people who do know you. You're in their inbox, and that inbox is precious because we can only handle so many emails a day. So make sure that it is a great email with valuable content and not just an email to send an email. So let's talk about measuring the success of the emails, and I'm going to put something up on the board. So we use Google Data Studio, which automatically pipes from whatever email platform that we have and provides us automatic stats on the emails. So, you want to pay attention to how many emails are sent. So a really small list that is a highly engaged list is better than a huge list of people who just don't even do the next thing, which is open the email. There's a lot of value in just being in someone's inbox and actually opening the email. It can be similar to a radio, a TV, a billboard ad, where they've read your content, but that doesn't necessarily mean they go to the next step on the screen and they click through to the website. So there's definitely funnel and other metrics that go along with and ensuring that your email is actually effective and used. So you don't always tie it all the way back to the sale. Great platforms out there, though, to make sure that you can look at how it affects part of the sale. So let's talk about collecting and building that email list, because that can be hard, but it's not hard if you think about the different strategies that you can take in order to do it. Again, it comes down to time and resources to be able to implement these. So the first one I think a lot of people think about is offering resources to your audience. So content that they would want in exchange for their email. So PDFs, videos, do-it-yourself information, so like guides, a free course, a template to this, a free trial to this. You're giving something that is of value that they might normally pay for, but you're giving it to them for free in exchange for their email address. Now, they could instantly unsubscribe if you don't have valuable content afterwards, so be careful that you've got the rest of the funnel set up as well. So, just how people kind of understand how that works, they fill out a form and automatically shoots back the content, and that's connected to your email platform, and so some other things can happen. You could very simply promote your newsletter on your website with a form or with a pop-up, but you could dig a little bit more and explain the value of what you're getting, not just, hey, join my newsletter. Well, everybody wants you to join the newsletter. What are they getting if they give the newsletter? Like, what kind of content are you handing out? So for instance, like on ours, we have alerts, so keeping you up to date on things that are happening in the digital marketing world. We have chats, which is kind of our longer form content that we're talking about today. And you get both the written and the video format, so maybe you can't join us on a live stage. So you're getting lots of value. And then we also have tips. So just those quick hits, like, let me just get that one bit of information out. And those are just worked within the blog post that we put out. So we're talking about the value of getting that email. But by the way, go ahead and go to our website, elevatedmarketing.solutions, and you can sign up for our newsletter. I'll probably put the link in the show notes here. But, make sure, though, that you have a page of your website. So not just a pop-up, not just a form, and maybe the form is on the particular blog. Maybe the pop-up is on certain pages, but you actually have a landing page that talks about signing up for your newsletter and what is the value of being on your newsletter. Who, what, when, where, why. Why do I want to do this? I'm going to show you or explain lots of different ways that you'll want to lead to that page, but you're going to want that page available with its only intention is to sign up for the newsletter. All right, So next way to get some email addresses is to have quizzes on your website. So quizzes can increase the ability, according to Lead Quizzes, by 500% in order to get someone on your email address. So what type of quizzes are we talking about? Well, let's think about your product or service. So we'll take us as an example. We have a quiz on our website that is, do you need a new digital marketing agency? Well, if they're coming to our website, they might be thinking about that. And so we outline all the reasons why you would need a new digital marketing agency on a blog post that we have and a chat that we have, in fact, done. So we're reusing content that we have already done. On this quiz, we give answers, all the way from yes, no, unsure, explaining a little bit more, kind of leading them down the path that they perhaps do need a new digital marketing agency. Whether or not that's us or not us, is a different, situation, but at least we're talking about why they might need a new digital marketing agency. And so we are collecting email addresses with this quiz, and that is, already tied into our email platform, and that automatically brings that over. Now, they just get added to, for us, our newsletter, but there are lots of different ways that we could do that. Similar to quizzes, you could offer a survey or market research asking for someone's opinion on this or that that's related to your product or service and really speaks to the pains that they have. And, of course, you're the one that solves it, but you're asking for survey information, and so you're asking for their opinion, and they're willing to give that opinion back. And some people will and some people won't, but I think it looks good for you as a brand to be talking about asking, what are their pains, and then you could later be talking about following up with email, how you can solve that pain. So another way is to hold contests, both offline or offline. You could give away product, you could have exclusive discounts, and all of this is in exchange for getting that email. So next, you could use your social media. So there's ads, like with Facebook ads, there's a particular type of Facebook ad that pops up on your screen when you're scrolling, and it could be similar to what you're doing on your website where you are giving something away. For instance, we had a client that was a bed and breakfast, and we did a pop-up for recipes from the bed and breakfast, and we were targeting people who were travel enthusiasts within their targeted area, and we were gathering thousands of emails at a really, really low cost, like 5 cents, that we were able to then put into the funnel or automated emails that they had going, and turning those clients into, or potential clients, into actual reservations at the bed and breakfast. You could also, on your social media profiles, lead directly to, there's usually that call to action, and you could lead to the particular page, that landing page that you've created, that you could sign them up. Twitter, again, you can run a targeted ad campaign. Instagram, in your bio, you could lead to that particular landing page. So all ways to build the email. You could host free webinars. So lots of platforms, including, Zoom, one of the most popular ones. You can hold a webinar in which you are helping the end user with some information. Don't do a sales pitch. I mean, you could. There might be people that just want to sign up for that sales pitch, but again, think in terms of the value that you can provide for them. And when they sign up, using these tools, like Zoom, you're going to be gathering their email, and then you can use it, to put them into different type funnels. We're going to get to those funnels, I promise you. Simply add a check mark to all of your forms that you have, like the contact us. Like, that's easy enough. That done and done. Like, that should be integrated within your website. Booking links. So when you book time with us, per se, we do automatically go ahead and put you into our monthly newsletter, which we only do one a month, which has all of this valuable content in it. And of course, you can unsubscribe if you don't find that valuable. But if you've booked some time with someone, a lot of those booking links will automatically add them to email list as well. Another thing you can do is partner with people in your industry, so that you can do some joint messaging. Like, we are on the Digital Toolbox once a week, and, we've partnered with them, and, we have messages that go out for some training that we do on the Digital Toolbox. And, that allows us to get our reach out even more. So, pretty simple, but just asking for the email. Whether you're in e-commerce or you're B2B and you're in sales and you talk about the value of being on the list and being able to give them a little bit of information so that they can make an informed decision. Now, again, you got to have great content that you're putting inside of there, but you could talk about the value of that as a sales rep. Get their email and then get them on a list. Don't be sneaky about it. Don't get their email and then don't actually ask for that permission, but you need to ask for the permission. So there are lots and lots of ways to add people to your email list. I feel like I'm only giving like a very little portion of it, but the most important thing is to take one on and stick with it and have that plan and follow through. So let's talk about some updates that have happened, though, in the email collection. And I'm going to put another item up on the screen. So this has recently happened with Apple, and basically being able to hide your email if you are on an iOS. I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong. If you're on an Apple phone, so that's 50% of the market, and you are using the out-of-the-box mail on that Apple phone, so the mail app, then you are going to be able to block the actual email that is given to someone and scramble it. So they'll still get the content, they'll still get the information from you, but it's mail privacy protection. And so this is Apple stepping in again. Even though Apple does its own collection of data for its own new search engine they have coming out, connected TV ads, we have a blog post on that, and lots of other different places, but they're going to be forward facing with that. We're here to protect your privacy, although I believe they are in a data war with Google, Facebook, Amazon. All of them are after, the data, and that's just something that is going on behind the screen. I said behind the screen. Really, that was my note to myself, to be like, we need to get back to Jennifer, to my screen, because I could go off on a tangent on that information. Okay, so, we've talked about why it's vital to have email. We've talked about, the different types of email. We've talked about how to gather those emails. Let's talk about segmenting the list. So all of these people came from different places in order to get on your email. I'm going to stop though and encourage you to at first think about your resources and how you can put out a really good email, and maybe you just start with a simple newsletter once a month. and everybody's going into the same thing. That's not the best way to do it by any means, but you might not have the resources built out to do all of the other ways, because you really have to think about it and how it goes about. You should be making different experiences into buying your product or service by how you've collected the email. And so therefore, the email that comes out should also be personalized. That is going to be the absolute best way to do it. Just again, it's about how you, even on the forms that you have on the website, maybe you're asking, are they interested in this service or that service or what have you, and you kind of segment them off into different lists, and you have different emails coming out that have to do with how they got to you. All right, so let's talk about, automating some of that and how they got to your list. So email automation. And almost every email platform out there has some sort of automation to it. It might not be in the basic stages of email, because again, we've all started somewhere different, and you just got to keep building and getting better and better. So a note to self to gotta have the content to go into these automated emails. And if you don't think about this content and you go too quickly, your client or potential client is going to feel automated, and nobody wants to feel automated. So make sure you take real careful and care on building these out and having, the best automation. So what are the different types of automations that you can have? Well, you can have a welcome to your list email by how they got there. You could have an onboarding, of your clients to a software or product. You could have an automation of they just purchased your product or service. And so what's the next step after that? It could be the next step is a survey or feedback or a testimonial email to your product or service. And you can set up like a certain time frame as to when this comes out. I should have said that in the beginning, but you can also because they did this, I'm going to send them this. I'm going to wait this many days. And because then they did this. So very logical. You just have to think those through. Renewal of a product or service. So if somebody buys your product or service, maybe every quarter, maybe different seasons. So like a heating and air, and in the winter time, you're getting those heaters maintained, and then in the summertime, it's going to be your can't even think, your air conditioning. How about those clients, we call them win-back campaigns, that you have lost? If you've lost a client, whether that be B2B, so you lost them in the sales process, or in e-commerce, you lost them in the your abandoned cart, then you can think about what is the information that they need to see next in order to win them back or get them to actually buy. How about a reminder email of the steps to your product or services? So maybe they've already been onboarded, they've been through all of those emails, but they've been a client for 6, 12 months, and you could be sending out reminder emails about the steps to your products or service, what they should buy next. So go back to the segmented email. If a certain client has only bought this product or service, what's the next logical product or service that they should buy next? So if somebody hasn't bought yet and you've built your email list that way, you'd want a nurture series to your products and service, just like your website should be laid out, that leads them down the path of purchase. So if they're at this point of buying your product or service, what are the next logical questions that they would have, and what is the content that you have available for that? You could automate the success metrics of your product or service, but I've also done for digital marketing, why this can be a bad thing. For certain services, though, in industries, it could be a great thing. But I always, want to recommend that you talk about why numbers are up or down, because there's just simply way too many numbers to look at when it comes to, digital marketing, if we're just talking about that. So event registrations and what's next before and after the event. Birthdays, anniversaries, personal, maybe even product or service related. Product launch, updated series for that. So you're launching this brand new product and you want to talk about what's going to happen there. Lots and lots of different, types of emails that you could send out and you could automate, but you have to have the resources and content to do so. So that is it for today. And, don't forget that you can like, follow, and there it is, subscribe to, our email list that we have, because, we're trying to bring you solutions to your digital marketing problems with our chat series. If you weren't able to catch us live, with our alert series, so, updating you with the most, recent information that is out there, and with our tips, so just kind of quick tips that you can definitely learn more. So, next time, we just mentioned it about not automating your reports. We are going to talk about why, what metrics you should be looking at to have a successful digital marketing program. And we're really going to, dive into different aspects of this, and that will be coming up in November. So thank you so much for joining me today and listening to me go on and on about email marketing and why it's vital. And we will see you next time.